One of the biggest and highly anticipated matches of the entire night is the Casino Gauntlet Match. Winner of this match gets a #1 contendership for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. This Casino Gauntlet and the Casino Gauntlet Match is a concept that Tony Khan has come up with. I don't know if this was a planned idea. I don't know if this was born in the night while drinking and partying with some White Claw. I don't know. But we've already seen 3 of these this year, including this one. 3 gauntlet matches. Now, I love the concept. And AEW is still obviously working out the kinks for this match concept. It's a gauntlet match with a take and a spin on the Royal Rumble, which is great. If you're going to take a page, no pun intended to Adam Page, you're going to take a page out of the WWE playbook and try and make the Royal Rumble concept your own, this is a great way to go and do that. Now, the rules of this match are simple. Orange Cassidy won a #1 contendership, or a #1 spot, I should say. He won the #1 spot in this match on Dynamite when he beat Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. So he won the first placement in this match. He came out first. The match can end at any point. So no matter who was #2, which I don't really understand why Orange Cassidy won the #1 spot, but the #2 spot is the same as the #1 spot. So Orange Cassidy had to win his #1 spot, but the #2 spot was just given the #2 spot without actually doing anything. It's the same as the #1 spot. Don't really understand that. Why don't we put a focus on #2 as well? Because it's the same thing as #1. But the match could realistically end. No matter who #1 or #2 is, if #1 pins #2, the match is over. Now, it's not going to happen that way because it's never going to be booked that way. It's a scripted program. But the concept of this is 21 men. And they all come out at a specific time interval. I don't know what the allotted time is for people to come on out. It looked like it was all over the place. Sometimes it felt like 60 seconds. Sometimes it felt like fucking 30 seconds, to be quite honest with you. I don't know what the exact time is, but they're clearly still working out the kinks for this match. It's a gauntlet match with a take on the Royal Rumble. It's a gauntlet match with a take on Lucha Underground's Aztec Warfare, which is great. I thought Aztec Warfare was fucking fantastic when they did it. Now, there's 21 people in this thing. 21 participants. I love the concept. I think the unpredictability of it is fantastic. I love the anticipation of counting down who's coming out. It's the best thing about the Royal Rumble. We don't know who's coming out at what number they're coming out. Fans are highly interactive with the countdown timer. You got some big names in this thing. It leaves it open for potential returns, major debuts from free agents like we saw tonight as well. Just a litany of surprises, man. I love it. This is really, really great. And if they could really tighten things up here, AEW's got a fucking winner of a concept. Now, what I mean by that is, we got 21 people in this thing, great. But what's the time interval between everybody else? I felt like sometimes it was long, and I felt like sometimes it was short, which probably played into the fact that there was poor time management on this entire show. Is it 60 seconds? Is it 30 seconds? Is it 45 seconds? It should honestly be 60 seconds. I mean, anything after that with 21 people is maybe too much. I mean, the extent I'd go is 90 seconds. If you want to do 90 seconds, that's fine. That's what the Royal Rumble is. It's a minute and a half. So give me the proper time for when everybody's going to be coming out. AEW had this thing all night where the countdown timer seemingly came in late every single time. I don't know what that was. We got the countdown timer on the screen, coming out next. It's 4, 3, 2. Like, why are we starting the countdown at 4? Why don't we see the countdown starting from 10? Everybody loves to count down. The Rumble countdown is 10. Why are we in the middle? Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 4. I mean, holy shit. Why were we so late on the countdown timer? I don't get it. See, little things like that bother me. Now, the winner of this thing is by pinfall. So, like I said, you can get 18 of the 21 people in there. If a pinfall happens before number 19, 20, and 21 come out there, the match is over. The match is over. It doesn't matter who else is slated to come out. But this is a concept that I hope that they continue to work on. I don't want to see another gauntlet match for the rest of the year. I don't want to see another gauntlet match in the beginning of 2025. This needs to be a specific concept for a specific show. That's it. I don't want to see this on a random Dynamite to crown a number one contender for the international title. I don't want to see this on a random Collision for a number one contendership for Jack Perry in the TNT title. No. It needs to be a concept that is held once a year. It needs to be a concept that has a special feeling around it and a special concept fit for an environment such as this. This is your biggest show of the year, and it should take place at All In. If the title is on the line, a title shot is on the line, a shot at the AEW Championship is the prize at the end of this match, it should be a one-time-a-year affair. It should not be for any other title in the company. Save it for All In. You want to get everybody involved on this type of show? This is the type of match that you are going to go out there and do. You want to return? This is the type of match to return in. You want to debut? This is the type of match to debut in if you're a free agent. The only other show that it would go in line with is Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing, Casino Gauntlet. They got the Casino Ladder match there. Save the Gauntlet match for All In. Name of the show fits the Gauntlet match and the Casino Battle Royal. That's fine. The Casino Gauntlet match, fine, All In. I'm going all in at the poker table. Great. It's the way it should be. But they need to iron out all the details here. They need to tighten up the presentation of this match. The countdown timer bugged the shit out of me. I want to see a countdown timer of 10. It felt like the time was all over the place. Like I said, 60 seconds. Felt like 30 seconds when some of those guys came out because I think they were stretched for time. Maybe having the match end before everybody's out there also needs to be taken into consideration as well. Maybe we can make it into a gauntlet/battle royal. Maybe that's what they need to do. Maybe people can get eliminated during this match. And when everybody's in the match, all 21 guys are in there, when everyone is out there, they have to win via pinfall. Freshen it up. That sounds like a sound idea to me. I would like to get everybody involved. A 21-man gauntlet match sounds like a daunting challenge to book. So if you mix a battle royal, Royal Rumble into a gauntlet match, I think that would work out pretty well. I thought this was great. I thought this was one of the best things in the entire night. I had fucking a blast watching this thing, man. I just felt like I was watching the Royal Rumble for AEW. It's great stuff. Orange Cassidy was the first entrant. He was met by Kazuchika Okada. Everybody was wondering what Okada's going to do on the show. He beat Claudio. Oh, actually, he didn't beat Claudio. He went to a draw with Claudio on Dynamite. And everybody thought that this match was going to get a rematch here at All In. Other people were like, well, maybe Jon Moxley steps up to the plate and challenges Kazuchika Okada for the International Championship. We didn't get none of that. We didn't get a rematch for Claudio. We didn't get Jon Moxley. We got Kazuchika Okada in this gauntlet match, which I thought worked out beautifully. I thought this was great. He came out at number 2. And out at number 3, after they battled back and forth, there was a Rainmaker attempt that was blocked by Orange Cassidy, who got a roll-up on Okada. Out at number 3 is the return of Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness was in the AEW All In Casino Gauntlet match. He came out to Oasis, effing in the bushes, to a huge reaction, which was unbelievable. He had a stare down with Okada, series of fake outs from McGuinness, led to him slapping Okada right in the face We got a couple of discus lariats by both guys, and everybody was going crazy for Mr. McGinnis, man. Happy to see him back, and he got a huge moment here. So, again, you know, Tony Khan, no matter how much shit he gets on social media, man, the man knows how to create a moment. And that's exactly what happened here with Nigel McGuinness. Great stuff. Kyle O'Reilly came out at number 4, hit a sliding knee strike on McGuinness before Okada put a stop to it. Zack Sabre Jr., who won the G1 Climax this year, he was out there at number 5 to a big pop because he's from the United Kingdom. Cassidy went for another Stun Dog Millionaire, but Sabre escaped into a submission. Sabre and O'Reilly went at it. McGuinness and Sabre had a face-off. And out at number 6 comes Roderick Strong. Sabre welcomed him, and Okada was still locked in a submission. Strong dished out some backbreakers. Mark Briscoe came out at number 7. He immediately goes for Redneck Kung Fu. He delivered that to Roddy and Okada. Sabre sent him to the floor. O'Reilly and Sabre had a technical back and forth. Briscoe flew off the apron with a dive onto Zack Sabre. Cassidy sets up a chair, and Briscoe hits a dive off the chair onto Roddy and Nigel, who's on the outside. Hangman Page is number 8. He went right for legitimately everybody in the match. He dodged a Cassidy dive. He took the fight to Briscoe and O'Reilly. Okada and Sabre went to the outside by Adam Page. He sent them both out there. Cassidy was dropped with a big fallaway slam as he caught Orange Cassidy, did Page coming off the top rope. Okada ate a slingshot dive. Strong took a powerbomb onto the apron. Cassidy dodged the buckshot, and then he did Page a deadeye. Devastating deadeye to Orange Cassidy. Jeff Jarrett comes out at number 9, and he goes right after Adam Page as they had a little scuffle on the weekly program for a couple of weeks. Karen Jarrett got involved. Karen Jarrett was on the apron, and Page grabbed her by the throat. And out at number 10, we get the fans standing up. We get a theme music we never heard before. We see this big R on the screen, on the stage, and then the R gives way to Ricochet. Ricochet's name is spelt out in big orange and yellow letters on the big screen, and the crowd goes fucking crazy, man. Huge pop for Ricochet. He absolutely wasted zero time getting involved. And I love, man, the one thing I love to see and to watch and to admire is someone who we all know was unhappy. I can't imagine he was completely unhappy, but he was unhappy creatively. He felt like he did not get what he truly deserved. As far as his talent is concerned, creatively, he didn't get what he deserved in WWE, and now he's in AEW. When Ricochet came out there, man, this was like a brand new man. And obviously, it's his debut. He's excited. He's energetic. He's got all that adrenaline pumping through his body. He's out there. He wants to prove himself. He wants to fucking have a great showing. It showed. His body language, the way he was moving around. I mean, everything he did. For what he did in this match, he did it to absolute perfection. Precision was on point with Ricochet. He was flowing. He was dancing. He was just having a great time out there. He is going to do, for as long as they have creative for him and as long as they keep him, you know, invested and giving him something to do, this is where he's going to thrive. If you were a fan of Ricochet before he came to WWE and you've seen a little glimpse of that and the way he worked in NXT when he worked with Velveteen Dream and he worked with Adam Cole and he worked with guys like Andrade and Johnny Gargano, it's going to be fucking unbelievable to watch this man work. Unbelievable. This is where he needs to be. He's going to fucking kill it here. Is there a possibility that he is definitely a flavor of the next couple of months and then kind of falls off? Sure. We've seen it happen time and time and time again with everybody else that comes on in with major star power and major flair from the other place, and they don't really get treated as a major star, and they kind of fizzle out, and they're treated like everybody else. We don't want to see Ricochet end up on fucking Rampage. We don't want to see Ricochet end up on fucking AEW Collision where no one's watching. He needs to be at the forefront. What I also have a problem with, and You know, the fans are excited about getting Ricochet, and you're going to see something special out of Ricochet. He's going to deliver banger after banger after banger. He's the best high flyer in the business. But what I also keep in the back of my mind, just from a fan of AEW and someone who sees this shit a lot differently than other people, how many people on that active roster sitting in their positions, in their spot, look at someone like Ricochet coming on in and they get bumped back down another slot? You know, there's already hungry talent starving for television time. Now you bring in another ex-WWE guy, and you're going to give an ex-WWE guy more television time instead of the AEW young kid or someone who's been there starving for fucking television. Now, is Ricochet. Come on in, Ricochet. We're going to give you a major feud with Will Ospreay. We're going to give you a major feud with Christian Cage. We're going to give you a major feud with MJF. Again, you might not care about that because you want your dream matches. You want Tony Khan to book for the sickos. But I have a problem with that. I look at that as a problem. Because Tony Khan already has a roster that's busting at the fucking seams. He's got talent that he doesn't know what to do with. He's got talent on that roster that he doesn't even have a fucking clue that are there making money. Just throw money in the fucking garbage. These guys are begging for television. Hey, Ricochet, come on in. All right, but what about me? I got to wrestle on fucking Ring of Honor. I'm trying to get my fucking feet in the door. His no ex-WWE guy. We'll see what happens. I'm excited he's here. I am. The prospect of a Ricochet MJF, Ricochet Ospreay, Ricochet Omega. I mean, I don't even know if you got blood pumping through your fucking body if you're not excited about that shit. He came out to a huge pop. Wasted no time. Typical Ricochet shit out there. He's fucking flipping and diving all over the place. Springboard shooting star out to the floor. Christian Cage comes out at number 11. Comes out clutching his ribs because he's obviously selling the effects of the ladder match. So he's out there. He was wiped out by a Ricochet dive immediately. Buckshot lariat by Adam Page on Ricochet. Page made the cover. Okada comes in so nonchalantly and puts a weak boot to the back of Page to break up that cover. No, bitch. You ain't winning this match. So Okada breaks up that pinfall, pissing Page off. Okada is in Deadeye. He escaped it. Rolling elbow from Page led to a buckshot lariat attempt, but Karen Jarrett again hooks the leg from the outside. Jeff showed up and smashed Page in the face with his guitar. Rainmaker by Okada on Jarrett. Zack Sabre Jr. ducked a Rainmaker into a submission. Cassidy nearly stole it with the crucifix. Sabre and Cassidy traded wild pinning attempts. And Cassidy hits the orange punch. Something's flying around in my face. I don't know where the fuck it came from. Cassidy hit the orange punch as Strong came in with the end of Heartache. Briscoe flew in with a froggy bow. McGinnis is still in there. He spun out of a J-Driller. He got hung up by O'Reilly with Briscoe and hit a Tower of London, did McGinnis, for a close 2 count. Roddy saved O'Reilly from a big lariat, but McGinnis hit his bounce-back lariat. Cage flew in with the spear on McGinnis. Luchasaurus comes out, and he was number 12. So we got 21 guys in this thing, and we only made it through number 12. He and Cage had a stare-off, because at the end of the match, Christian was berating and belittling Killswitch. They announced him here as Luchasaurus. So I don't know if that has anything to do with that or if that was a botch. I don't really know. They called him Luchasaurus here. Did he change his name all of a sudden from the opening match to this? Maybe that was done by design. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out on Wednesday. He had a face-off with Christian. He took Christian by the throat. Instead, he opted to chokeslam O'Reilly. He put Cage on his shoulders, on top. And actually, no, he put Cage on top of O'Reilly. I'm thinking the ladder match. He put Cage on top of O'Reilly, and that was enough for the 1, 2, 3. Luchasaurus helps Christian Cage win the AEW #1 contendership for the World Championship And Christian Cage wins the Casino Gauntlet match. The match was great up until the ending. The ending felt flat. It felt it just like you took a pin and you popped that balloon. Everybody was so excited. Everybody was so hyped. And then we get Christian Cage. Christian Cage winning the Gauntlet match. Christian Cage, once again, is the number one contender for the AEW World Championship after we just got Christian Cage against Swerve Strickland in Swerve's first feud as world champion. And now we're back to Christian Cage winning the number one contendership. I can't hate on Christian Cage because Christian Cage is fucking phenomenal. Can't hate on it. Can't hate on it. Can't hate on it. I will not do anything to shit on Christian Cage. But was it disappointing knowing that we got a lot of people in that match that could be the number one contender? Paige, Okada, Ricochet. Yeah. Even McGuinness. Even McGuinness had a chance to win. But Christian Cage winning, a lot of people were asking me, JD, why did Christian Cage win this match? Christian Cage winning this match basically gave you the outcome of the main event, in my opinion. I think everybody kind of felt like Bryan was going to win the main event anyway and win the world championship, but Christian winning this match really opened up that door more so for Bryan Danielson to win the AEW championship, because why would AEW go back and do Christian versus Swerve again? Christian won. Did you see at the end of that match, if you guys watched the pay-per-view along with me, did you see at the end of the match, they specifically showed Adam Page, his hair was like fucking Einstein-like all over the place. His hair was fucking wild, this angry smirk all over his face. He was seething with anger, was Adam Page. They focused on that for a reason. I said right there, that's the reason. That's the reason why Christian Cage won. Christian Cage already made a promise that he was going to win the AEW Championship, at least work his way back to the AEW Championship. So he made a promise on what he said a couple weeks back on Collision. There you go. So he lived up to his word. Adam Page, you saw what he looked like at the end of the match. Adam Page not winning this match, where I felt like he should have. A lot of people felt like he should have won, but I'm trying to think logically here. The psychotic nature of Adam Page not winning this match, driving him deeper and deeper into this fucking psycho rage, because all he wants is Swerve. All he wants is the world championship. All he wants is to take everything away from Page, or Swerve rather, does Page, and make Swerve suffer. That's the story. That's the reason why Page did not win this match, and they gave it to Christian. Now we're probably looking at, from this point on, Page showing face in the main event, doing whatever he can. If he can't win the gauntlet match and win the number one contendership for the world championship, he's got to make his own way to Swerve. If I can't win this and take the title off him personally, I'm going to have a hand in taking the title off of him no matter who is wrestling Swerve. I'm going to cost him the belt. That's exactly what we've seen play out. Christian Cage versus Bryan Danielson is also a safe enough match if they wanted to get Bryan on the all-out card and have him in the main event against Christian Cage. It's simple. It's effective. Should be a great match. It's a nothing show, honestly. This is their big show. That's like an extension. It's not going to be like, oh, my God. It's going to be like, oh, the greatest show ever, man. They're not going to have a fucking gigantic production. It's all out in Schaumburg. Bryan versus Christian is fine for that show. I'm sure they'll make it work. Get it out of the way. Bryan versus Christian, it's a safe enough match to give him a win in his short title reign that it will be for Bryan Danielson. Then we get Grand Slam, and then we get Bryan versus Darby, which is a first-time match. It's going to be a great match for Grand Slam on Dynamite. Should be fun. And then that'll be it for Bryan's run. But last year, they booked Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley in the main event of All Out. So, I mean, if you're looking at, which was a fine match, it was very good. So if you're looking at that and then you're wondering, well, why are they doing Bryan versus Christian potentially at All Out? It's no worse than what we got last year. Plus, we got a lot of story. We got more story this year going into All Out than we did going into last year's All Out. We got more story going into All In than last year's All In. At least AEW did a great job of building the show for All Out and All In this year at the same time. You got to give them credit on that. We got some top-tier matches coming out of this show, getting ready for All Out. That's more than we could say last year. At least last year, we got zero story. It was just a show with matches. That's all it was. So after thinking about it, I didn't really mind Christian winning. But did it deflate the crowd? Absolutely. Absolutely.